Say you want to play 10 different games, and for each game you need to remember something like
20 different key combinations.
to actually be efficient and actually be competitive.
What? What the fuck? What's up, guys? I was just sitting here fighting with myself of complete insanity being stuck in the house with this COVID stuff going on. So I decided to jump on YouTube because I'm a moron for some reason, and I found this wonderful video of this absolute dipshit. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Hey guys,
Why does this look like it's about to be a low-budget Pornhub film?
so welcome is Dan here, just sitting on the floor as usual. So what I would like to talk about today is something that I had a huge argument with one of my friends recently. And the thing is that we were thinking, what is better, PC or consoles?
PC, there, argument over, okay? Are we done here? Oh, no, you want to continue? Oh, well, go ahead. Explain to me why consoles are so much better than PC, please.
In terms of gaming, of course.
I really don't even understand why you would need to even put that in there.
In terms of gaming, of course.
Like, why would you even feel the need to put that in there? Obviously, if you're comparing PC to consoles, you're not talking about video editing.
So nowadays you'll see that PC gaming is pretty popular, like on YouTube and anywhere on the internet really.
Oh my god, dude, are you planning on getting to a point why consoles are so much better than PC? Because this is absolutely ridiculous. Almost 5.5 minutes of rambling with nothing explaining why consoles are better. Can you get to the fucking point?
The second thing is that PC games are built to be used with a keyboard and mouse most of the time.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you real quickly before you go on any further, because now you're talking about how PC games were meant to be played with keyboard and mouse. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Steam has an extremely easy way to connect a controller and play any game off of Steam with a controller, whether that being a PlayStation controller, an Xbox controller, or a Nintendo Switch controller. How many consoles can you say that can actually utilize any controller that you want to? If you have multiple controllers with your PC, something happens to one, guess what? Plug in a different one, you're good to go. If you only got one PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch Pro controller, something happens to it, you gotta go to the store and buy a new one. So that's one up for PC, thank you.
Sometimes they might add a little bit of controller compatibility.
Wait a minute, they're trying to pull a fast one on me, hey? Well, they can't outsmart me because I'm a moron.
And such that. And the problem here is that, say you want to play 10 different games, and for each game you need to remember something like 20 different key combinations. To
Are you sure about that?
Be efficient.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs.
Sorry about that, I just had to repeatedly bang my face off the table. This is an asinine argument right here.
You have to memorize 20 different combinations of keys.
No, you don't. PC has key mapping. If you like a specific key placement for one game, you can keep that exact same key placement in the very next game or every game that you want to. Every game on PC, whether that be first-person shooter, a simulator game, or an RTS game, all of them have key mapping in them so you can put whatever you want as your keys. So you're wrong right there. Again.
And actually be competitive, something like, I don't know, Warcraft or Starcraft. Now, another reason why I stopped liking mice and keyboards in general for gaming is because you're just stuck with this big brick on your desk with this little mouse, and that's it. There's no motion controls, no fancy multi-touch gestures, at all sorts of stuff like you see, I don't know, with a Kinect or with an Oculus.
Wait, what? Because it doesn't have motion controls? Like the Kinect or the Oculus? Oh my gosh, dude, you might want to have your brain checked, seriously. You do know you need a fucking PC to even play the damn Oculus. You know that, right? Without the PC, you're not gonna play the Oculus unless, of course, you have the Oculus Quest, HTC Vive, Valve Index, the Oculus Rift. You have to have a fucking PC in order to utilize it, you know nothing fucking moron. And just to let you know, an Xbox does not have motion controls. Technically, the PlayStation does with its 6-axis controller, but unless you purchase a secondary item called the Kinect, which doesn't come with the Xbox, just like a VR headset doesn't come with a PC, you have to purchase that item separately in order to use motion controls on your Xbox. So it's a terrible example.
Now, in general, it is also a lot easier to start playing games on console. Now, you just turn it on, click on your game, and you're ready to go. There's almost no setup needed. You don't have to configure your video drivers. You don't have to, fill out with the settings. It all just works straight out of the box.
This is an argument that I hear so many times when people try to compare console gaming to PC gaming.
Well, PCs, you have to configure. You have to do the drivers. And with a console, it works straight out of the box.
This is another one of those complete asinine arguments. It's the exact same thing with a PC. Do you not understand that? Do you have too many rocks in your damn skull that you don't understand that? With a PC, it's the exact same thing. The only possible extra step that you would actually have to take with PC is downloading GeForce Experience, which keeps all of your drivers automatically up to date so you don't have to worry about it. And another thing, just click on the game and start going, and you don't have to mess around with drivers, you don't have to mess around with settings. All games just auto set your settings for you depending on what you have in your computer. You don't have to tweak any settings at all when playing on PC. Download the game, start the game automatically sets all your settings for you so you can play in the optimized performance of the game. Now, if you choose to, you can go in and change settings on your own if you want to, if you want a better performance or if you want better graphics. But for the most part, anybody that just wants to play on PC, you don't have to do anything. There's no setup required.
What's always funny to me is that no one mentions how monopolistic.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Monopolistic.
One more time, please, because I can't understand a fucking word you're saying.
Monopolistic.
Oh, okay, I get it now. You mean monopolistic, not manipulistic. Maybe learn to actually pronounce the words properly so people can actually understand what you're saying. Because when I first heard it, I thought you were saying something of manipulistic, like they were manipulating. But after playing it back slowly, I get it now. Okay, monopolistic. Okay, go on.
So, to actually be competitive in PC gaming, you need to have the best CPU, the best GPU, you need to have a stable, fast internet connection to even start playing a game properly. It needs a very expensive high refresh rate monitor, a good keyboard, a good mouse, and it's just very unfair. It's very unfair because not everyone has a few $1,000s to shell out on a good gaming PC and good peripherals. It's a lot more democratic in the console world.
Liar!
Okay, I think you got both of those things completely flipped around because the only monopolistic ones are the consoles. In order to actually utilize your console that you say is
democratic,
you have to purchase what Sony or Microsoft will sell you. There are some minor third parties that Sony and Microsoft will actually allow to create controllers or stuff for their consoles. But if you want anything specifically for your favorite box, it has to come from Sony or Microsoft. That's it. There is no in between. There is no third parties. You cannot purchase a game on a different site and get it on your PlayStation or Xbox. They used to be able to do this with G2A, but they've really cracked down on that and made sure
No, you can only buy from me.
Meanwhile, on the PC world, that's actually, as you want to call it, democratic, there is thousands of options that you could choose from. You do not have to buy an HP headset. You could buy a Corsair. You could buy any headset that you want. You don't have to use the keyboard that comes with the computer. You can go to Best Buy or Target or Walmart or Myers or anywhere and buy multitudes of different types of keyboards that will work for it. There are many different keyboard brands out there. There is Corsair, there is Razer, there's LG. There's so many different keyboard and mouse and peripheral manufacturers out there. And if you don't want to go with that expensive, you could just go with Logitech. They're really cheap. You could buy a keyboard for $5 through Logitech. You can get a $5 mouse through Logitech. I really don't think you even know what you're talking about here. To sit here and say that PC is monopolistic and console manufacturers are democratic, what world are you living in, dude? If you want to play online through console, you better pay that online fee. You want to play online on PC? Well, you're already paying for your internet provider. It's free. You want to buy that specific game for PlayStation? You better get it through the PlayStation Store if you want it online. If you want to get a game through PC, you got a multitude of different... You don't have to have a high refresh rate monitor to be competitive. You can have a 60 hertz monitor and still be competitive. It's not about the refresh rate until you start getting down to like the 30 hertz and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, sure. But 60 hertz is just good enough to be competitive with. Will somebody with 120 hertz have a slight edge over you? They will have a minimal slight edge over you. It's all about skill in the game. And then to sit there and say that
Not everybody can afford a $2,000 PC.
well, that's your problem, man. Sounds more like you're fucking salty.
I can't afford this shit!
You want a really good computer, but you're just too poor to get one, so you gotta bash on computer because you can't afford one. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. This dude is a complete loon. None of the points that he brings up hold any water whatsoever. It just sounds like a salty fanboy wanting to join the PC crowd, but he doesn't want to start low. He wants to have a super premium computer and can't afford one. So since he's mad that he can't get one, he wants to turn around and bash everybody else who plays PC, trying to pretend that console is better. I'm sorry, but it's not. The new PS5 and the new Xbox Series X are really closing the gap between PC and console. And yes, if you want the premium experience, you're gonna have to pay the premium price. It's not the same as it used to be, where a $500 PC performs substantially better than a $500 console. They're so close now. And it's got to the point now where a $500 console can pretty much about outperform a $500 PC unless you budget it just right. And the next console generation will close the gap even more. We get that. But PC will still offer you a far better experience as long as you're willing to pay the entry ticket price. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, share the video, and stay safe out there.